Welcome to Gallman Field on the campus of St. Anne Pacelli High School for this afternoon's matchup. The Columbus High Blue Devils taking on Pacelli in the Beck Center Pacelli Game of the Week on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live, presented by Coca-Cola and Glenn Smith Chevy GMC. The game already underway. It started 5 minutes early. We are already one batter in at the top of the first inning. On the mound is Bella McBride. McBride, their ace. Pacelli's ace. She's 4-6 in the season with a 2.02 ERA. She's facing Lexi Winchester. Already one batter out. Addie Hart lined out to the pitcher to open the game. A 2-2 pitch grounded to the right side. Kendall Purnell at first base scoops it up, steps on the bag, and for out number 2. That'll bring up Emery Ballaweaton, the pitcher for Columbus High. Ballaweaton's a junior. Ballaweaton coming into the game hitting 191 with 8 runs batted in. Bella McBride with 2 outs getting the first 2 batters here in the top of the first inning. Looking to finish things off the fifth to Madison Green at second. Over to first and a very quick top of the first inning for Pacelli. 3 up, 3 down. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. After 1/2 inning, Columbus High nothing. Pacelli coming to bat. You are watching Pacelli softball on Georgia-Alabama Sports.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Visions Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Visions Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Visions Morning Show and download the Sports.
Imagine making your dreams a reality, achieving your goals and aspirations, and having a financial partner that understands your dreams never sleep. At Kinetic Credit Union, we're more than just a bank. We're 40,000 members strong, with local service, personal connections, and a nationwide network. Leading-edge technology to help you make financial decisions easier, smarter, and safer. We are Kinetic Credit Union, the energy.
And welcome back to Gallman Field to the Beck Center Pacelli Game of the Week on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live, presented by Coca-Cola and Glenn Smith Chevy GMC. The Pacelli Vikings hosting the Columbus Blue Devils, their second matchup of the season. The two teams played early on, second game of the year actually, back in August. Columbus High came back to win that one 10-9. The Vikings looking to see if they can match it here on their own home turf. All right, here's the starting lineup for the Vikings. Batting first, Reagan Dixon in center field. Tally Ellis will bat second. She's playing shortstop. J.C. Watkins at third will bat third. Leah Jimenez, the catcher, batting cleanup. Bella McBride will be in the circle. She's batting fifth with Madison Green at second base hitting sixth. Lucy Champion, the right fielder, hit with seventh. Kendall Purnell, the first baseman, hits eighth. Amanda Acevedo batting ninth. She is playing left field. As for Columbus High, Emily Ballaweaton, the junior, is on the mound. This is her 16th appearance. She comes into the game 6-8 with a 6.10 earned run average, 51.2 innings, 51 2/3 with 94 hits. She's given up 68 runs, but only 45 of them earned. Struck out 25, walked 11, and has chucked 5 wild pitches. The the Vikings looking to get off to a quick start, and it is Reagan Dixon at the plate to lead things off. Reagan's hitting 200 of the year with 8 runs batted in. Ballaweaton's first pitch. Dixon swinging, strike one. The Vikings 8-9 on the season. This is kind of a warm-up game tomorrow. They'll be heading to Strong Rock for a district matchup with the Patriots. Here's the 0-1 pitch in the dirt, ball one. Jason Smith calling the balls and strikes. Ray Meredith will be making the calls on the bases. That's our umpiring crew. And Larry Green, of course, coaching third base for the Vikings. He is the Pacelli head coach. 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball two. 2-1 count now on Reagan Dixon. The Vikings offense trying to get things off to a good start here after a 1-2-3 top of the first inning. Dealt out by Bella McBride. Here's the 2-1. Swinging, fouled off into the screen, and that evens the count at 2-2. Tally Ellis on deck will be the second hitter in the inning. All right, getting sent for the 2-2 pitch to Reagan Dixon. Dixon swinging, popping it up. Will it find room? Nope, it is caught by the second baseman. That's Lexi Winchester making the catch for the first out of the inning. The pop-up on the skin of the infield almost to the outfield grass. And that brings up Tally Ellis, the number 2 hitter in the inning. Ellis, the shortstop, the freshman, hitting .295 on the year with 6 runs batted in. Here's Ballowheaton's first pitch. A little bit low, ball 1. Ellis with 4 doubles and a triple this season. She scored 15 runs. She has been an offensive force for the Vikings. Ballowheaton gets a sign. Here's the 1-0. Up high, ball 2. Ellis being patient, waiting for a good pitch. It's a beautiful day out here. The humidity is not as bad as it's been this summer. I think we're all enjoying that part of it. 1-2-0. Ground ball sharply hit. It is handcuffs Aubrey McBride. Ellis holding for the second base, sliding in safe. So Ellis getting on second. A sharply hit ground ball handcuffed Aubrey McBride to carry him down into short left field. Ellis didn't slow down, rounding first, slid into second. So the Vikings with the runner in scoring position with just 1 out. And that brings up third baseman J.C. Watkins, the junior. Watkins hitting .349 on the season with 9 runs batted in on the year. This is the kind of start they wanted to see. The first pitch from Ballowheaton. Up high, ball 1. Ellis making a move towards second, making him think about it. Giving catcher Grace Scott something to ponder. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Strike 1. Watkins being aggressive with a runner on second base here with just 1 out. Vikings trying to see what they can do about putting this up on the board here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the 1-1. Catches the corner there. Strike 2. 1-2 count now on J.C. Watkins. Watkins now going to have to protect the plate here. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for out number 2 in the inning. That will bring up catcher Leah Jimenez, the cleanup hitter, the 8th grader, hitting .474 on the season with 11 runs batted in. Prime spot for her. First pitch up high, she takes it for ball 1. The 4-5 hitters for the Vikings, the heart of the lineup, and both are 8th graders. Both have shown well this season. The 1-0. Big swing and a miss. Strike 1. Ellis makes a move towards second and heads on back. Ellis, of course, leading the team in stolen bases with 15. And a pitch. Ellis throw down to third. Ellis had made a move to throw down to third to forestall that. She goes back to second. Count now 2-1 on Leah Jimenez. The pitch outside in the dirt. Again, Ellis gets about halfway down to second and then heads down to third rather, heads back towards second. 3-1 count now on Jimenez. There's 2 outs, so contact could mean a run here. 3-1 pitch. Driven to center field, and it goes over the head of Addie Hart, so here we go. Here goes the merry-go-round. Tally Ellis will come in to score easily. Jimenez pulls up standing with a double. So the Vikings here on the board in the bottom of the first inning. Leah Jimenez with a nice rip to center field, goes for an RBI double. Tally Ellis coming in to score. Vikings now taking a 1-0 lead. And here comes the courtesy runner for the Vikings. Kaylee Simmons will come on in and run. Simmons with 1 stolen base on the season. She's been used as a pinch runner quite a bit. This is her 8th appearance on the season. Brings up Bella McBride, the pitcher. First pitch of McBride. Grounded foul. Chopped toward the dugout for strike 1. 1 run in already here on 1 hit for the Vikings. Trying to see what they can do about adding to this 1-0 lead on Columbus Blue Devils. The 0-1. Driven up the middle, base hit to center field, sharply hit grounder. Simmons charging on home. She scores easily, throw down to second. And McBride slides in under the tag. So it's an RBI single for Bella McBride going to second on the fielder's choice, bringing home the pinch runner. And Coach Green calls time, and we got another courtesy runner going on in. This time it's Mariska Raza, the freshman. So 2 runs here now in the bottom of the first inning, looking for more. At the plate is Madison Green, the second baseman. The junior hitting .311 on the year with a dozen RBIs. She'd love to add to that. She'd love to add to that total. And a lucky 13 RBI would be nice. First pitch was a strike. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off into the screen. Count now 0-2 on Green. The Vikings have been making the most of their opportunities. 2 runs and a couple hits and an error, taking the staked out to that early 2-zip lead. The 0-2, up high, ball 1. Bella Wheaton trying to pitch out of this jam of the Vikings, trying to see what they can do about adding to this 2-0 advantage here. Bottom of the first. Kind of start they wanted to see. The pitch, swung on, pop foul, and it goes out of play behind home plate. The count remains 1-2 on Madison Green. As I mentioned, a nice day, 82 degrees right now. Not humid at all, just perfect for softball. The pitch is fouled off behind the screen again, so the count remains 1-2. A little bit windy out here. There's a little bit of wind gusts. Nice, pleasant feeling, though, to say the least. Wind at 9 out of the northeast, gusting to 15. In the face of the hitters, though. And the pitch driven to center field. Center field start. Addie Hart went back but came on in to grab it, and that ends the inning. But in the inning for Pacelli, 2 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base at the end of 1 inning. Pacelli leading Columbus 2-0. You're watching Vikings softball on Georgia Alabama Sports Line.
Houlihan serves fresh, handcrafted dishes made just the way you like them. Juicy burgers, sizzling steaks, crisp salads, and shareable appetizers set the table for every appetite. Relax with friends, celebrate special moments, or enjoy a casual night out. Houlihan's delivers great food, great drinks, and great times, with 2 locations in Columbus, downtown at the Marriott Hotel and on Sidney Simons Boulevard at the Doubletree Hotel.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
And we're back at Gallman Field. Pacelli leading Columbus high by a score of 2-0 as we go to the top of the second inning. 4, 5, and 6 hitters are due up for Columbus High. Bella McBride on the mound. Nice 1-2-3 first of inning. Leading things off will be Aubrey McBride, the junior third baseman for the Blue Devils. McBride coming into the game hitting .333 with 15 runs batted in. She's one of 2 players on the Devils with a home run on the season. McBride, first pitch. Swung on, fisted out, foul down the first base line. Strike 1. Columbus High with just 2 seniors on the roster, a very, very young team. It was a senior-laden roster last season. A lot of underclassmen. Next pitch, lined into the trees behind first base. Count now 0-2. The Blue Devils are they're 8-12 in the season, but they are 7-2 in Region 1 2A, sitting in second place behind Shaw. A young team that's done well in region play. McBride's 0-2. Lined to center field. It flares in for the single. And McBride is on here to lead off the top of the second inning. Blue Devils in business. Brings up Maya Wiggins, the left fielder. Wiggins is a sophomore. She's hitting .278 on the year with 8 runs batted in. McBride sign a pitch. First pitch in the dirt. It is ball 1. Nice little crowd here out at Gallman Field. Pitch. Strike. Gets the bottom part of the strike zone. 1-1 count now. Columbus High runner on first with nobody out here. The Vikings with an early 2-0 lead here in the top of the second. Bella McBride's pitch. Off the fist, comebacker. Over to first base, the only play. Wiggins is thrown out, but Aubrey McBride advances to second on the swinging bunt. So a runner on second with 1 out now. And catcher Grace Scott comes to the plate. Scott, the most dangerous hitter on the roster for Columbus High. She's hitting .449 on the season with 13 runs batted in. The runner in scoring position. Bella McBride trying to get out of this mini jam here in the second. First pitch, swinging, strike 1. Getting ahead of the hitter is a big deal. Here's your 0-1. Swung on, fouled into the trees, strike 2. 0-2 count now on Grace Scott. Hey, special thanks to Glenn Smith for being our original presenting sponsor. From day one, their unmatched support and commitment to our communities help fuel our mission to bring you the very best in local sports coverage. We're honored to partner with them again as we kick off year 4 together. The 0-2. Line down the third base line, foul. Count remains 0-2. As I mentioned, Columbus High, a young team, but so are the Vikings. This, of course, their first full year of varsity play since the program was reinstituted last season. The pitch up high. Ball 1, 1-2 count now. The delivery up high, ball 2. 2-2 now. 2-2 count on Grace Scott. They're being careful with her. Here with a runner on second and just 1 out here in the top of the second. McBride gets a signal. Here she comes with the 2-2. Off the fist, rolled down the third base line, foul. So their count remains 2-2. Good at bat for Scott. The wind and the 2-2. Swing and miss, strike 3. Out number 2 here in the top of the second inning. First strikeout of the game so far for Bella McBride. And that brings up shortstop Peyton Brown. Brown is a sophomore. She comes into the game hitting .154 with a couple of runs batted in. McBride looking to get out of this mini jam here in the second. First pitch a little bit inside for ball 1. McBride, as I mentioned, coming into the game with a 4-6 record, but a 2.02 ERA. She's been stellar all season long. 1-0, grounded to the right side. Madison Green scoops it up to Purnell over at first, and that is that. So in the inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 1 1/2 innings, Pacelli 2, Columbus High 0. You're watching Viking softball on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
For game day, work day, or any day, Glenn Smith in Opelika is loaded with GMC Sierra and Canyon trucks. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,750 off. Test drive the new mid-size GMC Canyons with a comfortable ride and strong towing, discounted up to $4,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until December. Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Back at Gallman Field for the bottom of the second inning. Pacelli holding a 2-0 lead on Columbus High. Hey, have you downloaded the Pacelli Sports app? Team rosters, sports schedules, and details about Vikings Victory Booster Club sponsors, they're at your fingertips. Search for Pacelli Sports in the App Store or on Google Play, or visit PacelliSports.org for details. All right, the Vikings with the 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up here in the bottom of the second inning. A nice 2-run first for the Vikes. Couple of hits, including a nice ringing double by Leah Jimenez and a nice sharp single to center by Bella McBride. Those were the two run-scoring hits. Lucy Champion will lead things off for the Vikings. Champion hitting 125 of the season with a couple of runs batted in. She faces Emily Bella-Wheaton. Bella-Wheaton's first pitch to Champion. Bunted right in front of the plate, and it is ruled foul. Called foul by plate umpire Jason Smith. So, count 0-1 on Lucy Champion. Trying to knew about changing things up here. Getting that leadoff hitter on base is a big deal. Get the parade going. All right, here's the 0-1. Champion swing and a miss, strike 2. Here's the 0-2 from Bella-Wheaton. Grounded. Left side, scoop up by the shortstop over to first, and Peyton Brown guns Champion to get the first out here in the bottom of the second inning. That will bring up first baseman Kendall Purnell. Purnell is an 8th grader. She's had a good season. She's hitting .261 on the year with 3 runs batted in. Early on in the year, she was mostly used as a courtesy runner and a pinch runner. She's now moved on to take over the starting first base slot. First pitch, Purnell shows bunt, gets a piece of it, strike 1.
Let's go, Kendall.
A little bit of small ball here. Get him on, get him over, get him in. Especially with the bottom of the lineup. Bella-Wheaton gets the sign. Here's her 0-1. Swing and a miss from Purnell, strike 1. Strike 2. 0-2 count now on Kendall Purnell.
Come on, kid.
The 0-2. Popped up in the infield, right back to the pitcher. Bella-Wheaton hauls it in for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. That brings up Amanda Acevedo here in the bottom of the second inning with 2 outs. Acevedo is a junior, hitting .114 on the season, but she's driven in 4 runs. Got a couple of doubles as well. First pitch, Acevedo takes it high, ball 1. Bella-Wheaton gets set. The 1-0. Low in the dirt, ball 2. Acevedo has shown good patience at the plate all season long. She's worked 5 walks on the year. The 2-0. Catches the upper part of the strike zone. 2-1 count now on Amanda Acevedo. 2-1. In the dirt, 3-1. So a good hitter's count now here on Amanda Acevedo. Trying to get something started with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Ballowheaton delivers. Catches strike zone. Now the count is full, 3-2 on Amanda Acevedo. Trying to protect the plate, try to put the ball in play. Here's the payoff. Swung, fouled off the fist into the dirt. So the count remains 3-2 here. Leadoff hitter Reagan Dixon on deck, hoping to see if she can get to the plate here in the second. The 3-2. Acevedo lines it right at the third baseman. Aubrey McBride has to catch it out of self-defense. It was a seed, but right at her. Atom ball's what you call that. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. At the end of 2, Pacelli 2, Columbus High nothing. You're watching Vikings softball on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
And we're back at Gallman Field for the top of the third inning. Columbus High trailing Pacelli 2-0. The Vikings getting a couple runs in the first, take the early lead. Due up for Columbus, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Sadie Childers, the first baseman, lead it off. She is a sophomore. Childers coming to the game hitting 139, but she's got a dozen runs batted in. Bella McBride out there. Good solid first 2 innings, giving up just 1 hit and striking out 1 so far. McBride gets the sign, and here's her first pitch of the third inning. Swing and a miss, strike 1. McBride trying to stay ahead of the hitters. She's done well so far today. Pitch grounded to the right side, to the left side. It rolls foul. For strike 2. 0-2 count now on Sadie Childers. McBride gets a sign, and here's the 0-2 pitch. Ground to the right side, foul. The count remains 0-2. Rolled past Lucy Champion to the fence. She had to chase it down. We'll toss it back in and get things going once again. Vikings looking for another victory. Build a little momentum going into tomorrow's district matchup at Strong Rock. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball left side, scooped up by the shortstop, and Tally Ellis gets Gunzer at first base for the first out of the inning. So Childers out 6-3 to get things going top of the third. That brings up Layla Hendrick, the right fielder, the designated player. She is batting for Hannah Martini, the right fielder. Hendrick hitting .250 on the season with 8 runs batted in. She's got some extra base hits. She's hit 3 doubles. So dangerous hitter here in the 9 slot. Here's McBride's 1-0. Catches a corner, strike 1. 1-1 count now on Layla Hendrick. Sun's setting a little bit, making things a little more challenging. Ground ball sharply hit, and it goes off the glove of Kendall Purnell into right field. We'll see if they can call that one a hit or an error. Kind of handcuffed her. So a runner on first with one out here. That brings up the top of the order Addie Hart. Hart hit a line drive back to Bella McBride to lead off the ball game. The bunt rolls foul. Scooped up by Jimenez to make sure she gets a strike. So, strike one. That one has been ruled a base hit. By the way, Addie Hart. 0-1 pitch. Infielders on the corners looking to sneak in maybe. We'll see if she shows bunt again. Nope, she's swinging away. Pops it up towards short. Tally Ellis makes the catch. Guns at the first. Off the glove of Kendall Purnell. The runner heads to second. Purnell the throw. The slide a little bit short, but she slides in safely. So on the pop out, Ellis throws to first. It goes off the glove of Purnell. We're going to call that an E3. The runner advancing to second on the error. So the runner at second now with two outs. And that brings up Lexi Winchester, the second baseman. She grounded to Purnell unassisted in the top of the first inning. Here's McBride's first pitch. Winchester takes it for strike one. Hendricks leading off second base. She's stolen 4 bases on the season. So keep an eye out. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt. 1-1 count. Columbus High with a runner in scoring position for the second time in this ball game in this 2-0 contest led by Pacelli. Pitch, ground ball up the middle, and it rolls through for the base hit. The runner slips going to third base. She seems to be injured here. Time is called. Layla Hendricks was going to third and then suddenly seized up right before she got to the base. Base hit by Winchester, putting runners on first and third. We'll call this a Jack Houston Memorial Hospital timeout here as they check over Layla Hendricks to see if she is okay. Trainers out there taking a look at the freshman. Looked like she tripped or something. I can't tell what she did. She's walking kind of gingerly on that right ankle. Getting checked out. Lauren Wiggins, the sophomore, looks like she'll be going in to run. As Hendricks is let off the field by the trainers, they'll have to check out her ankle to see if she is okay. Of course, Columbus High head coach Kelly Furtick, she actually had knee surgery last Wednesday. She's out there on crutches checking to make sure her player is okay. Furtick has not been coaching hasn't been coaching first base much. I wouldn't expect that. I mean, she's a few days off of knee surgery. Right now, first baseman Sadie Childers is in the first base coaching box. Steve Meredith, the assistant coach, is coaching third. So, all right, the bells are ringing here as we reach the 6 o'clock hour here on the campus of St. Anne Pacelli High School, St. Anne Catholic Church. The bells are ringing. Emily Ballowheaton swinging and missing for strike one. Ballowheaton grounded to third to end the first inning. The bells will be going for a little while because they're ringing the hours. And we reached the 6 o'clock prayer hour. All right, here's the 0-1. Fly to left field in foul territory. Can anybody chase it down? And it's on the other side of the fence. So nothing doing. So it's strike two now. 0-2 count on Emily Ballowheaton. Batting here with 2 outs in the top of the third inning with runners on the corners. Vikings trying to get out of this thing without surrendering any runs. Leading it right now by a score of 2-0. McBride gets the sign. Ready for that 0-2 pitch to Ballowheaton. Swing and a miss, strike three, and that will take care of that. In the inning, no runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error, 2 runners left on base. At the end of 2 1/2 innings, the Pacelli Vikings 2, the Columbus High Blue Devils nothing. You're watching Vikings softball on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
And we're back at Gallman Field on the campus of St. Anne Pacelli High School. It is Pacelli leading this thing by a score of 2-0. Hey, Georgia Alabama Sports Live, excited to announce our partnership with Coca-Cola. We're proud to welcome Coca-Cola as a presenting sponsor and an essential part of our team as we grow into the future. Classic taste, timeless memories. We're officially a Coke company. And officially the Vikings holding the 2-0 lead, as I mentioned, here in the bottom of the third inning. Coming to the plate with the top of the order, Reagan Dixon, followed by Tally Ellis and J.C. Watkins as they look to add to this lead. Vikings show up pretty good so far, to say the least. And here we go. Emily Ballowheaton getting ready to deliver the first pitch to Reagan Dixon. A little bit low, ball one. One 0 count. Ballowheaton gets the sign. Here's the delivery. Dixon holds off, ball two. Good pitchers, good hitters count right now. The 2-0. Dixon takes it, ball three. Count. Let's see if Dixon's taking on this one. Getting the leadoff hitter on is always big. Next pitch, catches a corner for strike one. The count now, 3-1 on Reagan Dixon. Dixon popped a second in her first at bat in the first inning. 3-1. Dixon swinging, driving it to left field. Mia Wiggins calls it in right along the foul line. It was a fair ball, but it is out, number one. So one down here in the bottom of the third. That brings up Tally Ellis, the shortstop. The freshman got on an error by the third baseman. It was a sharply hit grounder, handcuffed Aubrey McBride. She made it all the way to second. She would later score in a double by Leah Jimenez. First pitch to Ellis, ground ball left side, right to third base. McBride over to first. Throw is high, but it's hauled in by Sadie Childers for out number two. So a quick out number two here in the third. It brings up J.C. Watkins, the third baseman. Watkins struck out in the first. He's a junior, one of the top hitters on the team, came into the game hitting .349. Up here, nobody on, 2 outs, trying to get something started in the bottom of the third. Shelley looking to add to a 2-0 lead. First pitch to Watkins, up high, ball one. Next pitch, swing and a miss on a changeup. 1-1 count. The bells have stopped ringing for Vespers over at the church. Shelley trying to see if they can ring up a run here in the third. The 1-1 delivery. Taken up high, ball two. 2-1 count now on J.C. Watkins. Vikings trying to see if they can get a little two out something going here. Ballowheaton gets the sign, rocks and fires. Up high, ball three. 3-1 count now on J.C. Watkins. Vikings 2 runs in the first. Pretty well pitched ball game on both sides so far. Ballowheaton's 3-1. Grounded, hops up, hits her in the leg. Strike, that makes it 3-2 now. Full count on J.C. Watkins. Head coach Larry Green telling her, just get in there and see what you can do. Here's the payoff for Ballowheaton. Grounder sharply hit down the third base line, but foul. Count remains 3-2. Hey, remember, we're going to give the Alex Quinney All-State Good Hands Player of the Game at the end of the ball game. A lot of softball yet to be played. We'll see who comes up big and earns that Good Hands Player of the Game honor. Count remaining 3-2 now. J.C. Watkins, 2 outs here, nobody on in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. Watkins takes it inside, ball 4. And so a runner on. Vikings seeing what they can do with 2 outs. Get something started here. A little 2-out thunder would be good. Leah Jimenez coming up to the plate, the 8th grade catcher. Jimenez doubled to center field to drive in the first run of the ball game in the first inning. Jimenez with a dozen RBIs on the year. She'd like to add to it. First pitch from Ballowheaton. Catches the corner, strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Jimenez driving it down the first base line. It is fair. It goes into the corner. Going to go for at least for extra bases. Watkins hustling on home. Jimenez pulls in with her second double of the ball game. An RBI double off the bat of Leah Jimenez. And the Vikings have now taken a 3-2 lead. She rolled it right down the line, hopped right over the base. Now, no question, double into the right field corner. Hannah Martini had to go chase it down. And a courtesy runner coming in. Once again, Kaylee Simmons. Simmons, of course, scored on Bella McBride's head. And look who's at the plate now. Ms. McBride lines it into left field for the base hit. Runner on third. She keeps on chugging. The throw home has her beat. She is tagged out. And that is the end of the inning. But in the inning, 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. At the end of 3, Pacelli 3, Columbus High 0. You're watching Vikings softball on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
For game day, work day, or any day, Glenn Smith in Opelika is loaded with GMC Sierra and Canyon trucks. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,750 off. Test drive the new mid-size GMC Canyons with a comfortable ride and strong towing, discounted up to $4,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until December. Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
And we're back here in the top of the 4th inning at Gallman Field. Columbus High taking on Pacelli. The Vikings holding a 3-0 lead for Columbus High. Coming up to the plate, it will be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. That means Aubrey McBride will lead things off. McBride singling to center field to lead off the top of the 2nd inning. McBride, one of their top hitters that came in coming into the game, hitting .333. Bella McBride looking good on the mound so far. Here's her first pitch. Popped out to right field. Will it stay fair? Nope. It falls in foul. It was basically in no man's land. There was no way anybody was going to get to it in shallow right, but it is foul for a strike. Hey, remember, make sure you follow Georgia Alabama Sports Live on all social media platforms to get up-to-date information on local sports in our area. Do not miss a game. Subscribe to all our pages. Seriously, do it. Umpire conferring with Columbus High's coach as she limps back on a crutch. I mean, she had Kelly Furtick had surgery last Wednesday on her knee, and she's out here. She's a gamer, that's for sure. All right, 0-1 count now. The pitch. Flown to right field, shallow right. Who's got this one? Madison Green goes for it, cannot quite catch up to it. Again, almost in the same spot in shallow right in foul territory. Count now moves to 0-2. Aubrey McBride at the plate, Bella McBride on the mound. And Pacelli in the lead, 3-0 here in the top of the fourth. Here's the delivery. Ball one inside. 1-2 count now on Aubrey McBride. The 1-2. Fouled off into the screen. Count remains 1-2. McBride trying to lead off the inning with some sort of anything to get on base to get something going for Columbus High. Bella McBride, on the other hand, has her own ideas about that. That pitch inside, ball two. Count now 2-2 on Aubrey McBride. Maya Wiggins on deck for the Lady Devils. Here's the 2-2. Driven to center field. Reagan Dixon chases it down. A really nice catch out there by Reagan Dixon, who gets it on the run for out number one in the inning. That one was lined into the gap in right center field, but Dixon had her eye on it the whole way. On the run, making a beautiful, beautiful one-handed catch. So out number one here in the top of the fourth inning, bring up Maya Wiggins. Wiggins grounded to first to end the inning. She, of course, ended the bottom of the third inning with a good throw home. A single to left field by Bella McBride. Pinch runner Kaylee Simmons was going all the way, but she got gunned. Wasn't even close. Perfect throw from Wiggins. The Vikings playing aggressive, trying to force Columbus High to make the play, and that time they certainly did. All right, McBride gets the sign. Here is her first pitch to Wiggins. Fouled off just over the screen. So strike one, 0-1 count. There's a lot going on campus here over on the other side of the field, over on Diamond Field. The JV team is playing their game. Next pitch behind Wiggins for a ball, 1-1 count. I can't quite make out who the JV team is playing. But whoever it is just made a very nice defensive play for a loss. All right, 3-0. Ground ball is short, sharply hit. But Tally Ellis up in net, and just like that, out number two. Ellis played that one nicely. Wiggins hit a two-hop shot. Ellis making a scoop over to first. And so now 2 outs here in the top of the fourth inning. That brings up catcher Grace Scott, the leading hitter on the Blue Devils. She struck out in the second inning, one of 2 strikeout victims so far for Bella McBride. McBride looking to put in her second 1-2-3 inning of the afternoon, or the evening, depending on how you want to phrase this one, since the time is after 6 o'clock. Here's the pitch. Catches the upper part of the strike zone. Perfect pitch, strike one. Here's the 0-1. Popped up, and it goes foul. It hit in the dirt. It hit in the dirt and it spun back out of play. Leah Jimenez looked up. The ones up the elevator shaft are tough, even the little pop-ups, because there's all kinds of crazy spin on those. Anytime there's a pop-up behind home plate, if you're a catcher, you turn around and you turn your back to the field because it's spinning backwards. All right, 0-2 count here. Outside, up and high, and could not get Scott to chase. So the count now 1-2 on Grace Scott. The 1-2 delivery. Popped up. This one's going to go out of play right on us. That came very close to hitting producer Chris Gates. Count remains 1-2 now on Grace Scott. Chris, you could have made a play on that one, buddy. Missed opportunities. That's what we got. All right, McBride gets the sign. Here's her 1-2 delivery. Ground ball foul. A sharply hit. Kicked foul. It was already foul, but booted by one of the assistant coaches. Try to stop with his foot. Take your chances on that one. It's about a softball. Softball, I'd rather hit with a rock. A rock is softer. All right, 1-2 count here. Good at back for Scott. She's fighting it. Next pitch, off the fist. Hit foul again. I believe we're at about our 7th pitch of this at bat. Scott spoiling the pitches, staying in it, doing what she's supposed to be doing at the plate. McBride continuing to throw strikes, though. Here's another 1-2 for McBride. Inside, ball 2. So I believe that's 8 pitches in this at bat. One of your classic at bats from Grace Scott. Bowen McBride trying to end this inning here, trying to go 1-2-3. Here comes the 2-2 delivery. Outside, ball 3. So Scott has worked the count full. All right, 3-2 count now. McBride gets the sign. Here's the 3-2. Swung on, sent to left field. Shallow falls in for a single. A little flare out to left field. So Grace Scott with a 2-out hit. As the Blue Devils keep the inning alive. We'll see if they run out a courtesy runner. I'm sure they will. We'll see Trot's out there. Can't quite make out who that is. I think it's Carly Mayhew. Just a guess, though. Sometimes long hair will cover up numbers on backs. And the first pitch is fouled off by Peyton Brown for strike 1. So we'll just assume it's Carly Mayhew leading off first base here, the senior. Here's the 0-1. Popped up. Sent to short, shallow center. Reagan Dixon running on in, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. So inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 3 1/2 innings, Pacelli leading Columbus High 3-0. You are watching Viking softball on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
It's a great day for a new Chevrolet from Glenn Smith in Opelika. Silverado and Colorado trucks ready to roll. Get going in a powerful new full-size Chevrolet Silverado with discounts up to $13,500 off. Drive away in the mid-size Chevy Colorado, ready for work or play. Discounted up to $4,000 off. People from all over the USA are going to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Hey, you love to golf? Hit the links for a great cause. It's the 7th annual Viking Classic Golf Tournament, Friday, November 14th at Bull Creek. Enjoy a round of golf, lunch, range balls, and tee gifts. There will also be exciting raffle prizes and on-course contests. Take advantage of our early bird special. Save $200 on a foursome when you register by September 19th. Well, that's already passed, but get in there anyway. All veterans can use a promo code VETERAN2025 at checkout to receive a $25 discount on registration. Visit pacellisports.org/support for more information. All right, we're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. 6-7-8 due up for the Vikings. Vikings trying to add to a 3-0 lead. Leading things off will be Madison Green, the junior second baseman. Madison flew out to center field back in the second inning. Emily Ballowheaton on the mound, delivering her first pitch up high, ball one. The Vikings with 3 runs, only one of those runs was earned. They've taken advantage of all the opportunities they've had. Here's the 1-0 to Green. Takes it up high, ball 2. 2-0 count now. Madison Green, a patient hitter. She came into the game hitting .311. She's walked 7 times on the season already. Got an on-base percentage of .404, or coming in anyway. Driven to left field. Will it stay fair? Nope, it goes foul. Mia Wiggins gave her best run at it. She had to pull up a little bit short because of the fence out there, and it fell in. So it's just a long strike. Count now 2-1 on Madison Green, but Green lighting that one up just a little bit. Got a little bit in front of it. Something like that in the gaps could run for days on it. Certainly left center field. The center field fence in left center goes back a ways. It's a short porch in right. You hit it to left, especially in the left center gap, yeah, you can run for a while. All right, 2-1 pitch from Ballowheaton. Madison Green takes the pitch up high, ball 3. 3-1 count now. A good hitter's count. Head coach Larry Green going to keep an eye on it. See what you can do with this one. Here's the 3-1. Green takes it for ball 4, working her 8th walk of the season. And the leadoff runner is on for the Vikings for the first time today. That will bring up Lucy Champion, the right fielder. The junior grounded out to short in her first at bat. Vikings would love to add to this 3-0 advantage. Here's Ballowheaton's first pitch. Runner going. Champion dropping down the bunt. It is foul. Green had a really good jump, too. So it's strike 1. Get him on, get him over, get him in. Little small ball, never hurt anybody here. Lucy Champion, by the way, leads the team. She's had 3 sacrifice bunts this season. All right, 0-1 pitch. Again showing bunt, dropping it down. It goes foul. One hops back. Right to the catcher. So it's 0-2 count now on Lucy Champion, which most likely will take the bunt out of play. The 0-2 from Ballowheaton. Champion swinging, catches off the fist, stays alive. Count remaining 0-2. Layla Hendrick hopping by. There's definitely something wrong with that ankle. She's still being worked on by the trainers. Hopefully she's going to be okay here. Champion swing and miss, strike 3. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That brings up Kendall Purnell, the first baseman. Purnell popped out to the pitcher in her last at bat back in the 2nd. We'll see if Larry Green puts something out there. Purnell drawing a cross there in the dirt before she steps into the box. And the first pitch from Ballowheaton. Bunt, and she drops it down. Will it stay fair? And it just rolls foul. Sadie Childers played it exactly right. It looked like it was going to roll foul, so she just was patient about it and let it roll foul, and then snagged it as quick as she could once it crossed that chalk. So strike 1 on Kendall Purnell. Looking like the Vikings going to try another bunt here, most likely. We will see what happens. Corner infielders are cheating in. And the bunt dropped down. Again, just foul. So that makes the count 0-2 on Purnell. As I mentioned, Vikings up 3-0, trying to see what they can do about that. Purnell is also, she's had 1 sacrifice bunt this season. So much for number 2. 0-2 pitch, swinging, grounded sharply down the third base line, but foul. Coach Larry Green almost came up with that one. Count remaining 0-2. Vikings runner in first here in the 4th. it would be nice to add to the 3-0 lead, because remember, the first time the two teams played, they led Columbus High by a score of 9-4 going into the 6th inning, and the Blue Devils posted 6 runs to come back and take the win 10-9. It was really the season opener. It was supposed to be the second game of the season, but the original opener against Flint River had gotten rained out and gotten pushed back. All right, 1-2 count now on Kendall Purnell. The delivery. Taking up high, ball 2. And steal of second. Green steals second base. The throw into center field. She thought about going, but that throw was in shallow center. Addie Hart jumped on it real quick, and it would have been a really, really bad idea. But Green on second now with just one out. Runner in scoring position. 2-2 count on Kendall Purnell. The pitch. Purnell takes it for ball 3. Full count now on Kendall Purnell. Purnell has 3 runs batted in on the season. He's also got a double, so nice little extra base hit here, wouldn't hurt. Ballow-Eaton gets the sign. The pitch. Grounded toward third, and it handcuffs McBride. But since it's at third, there was no way Madison Green would be able to advance. Purnell getting on the error. So we'll get runners in first and second with just one out.
Let's go, Mandy.
Second error of the day for McBride. That brings up Amanda Acevedo. Acevedo hit a sharp line drive right at McBride. McBride had to catch it out of self-defense. I think it was a seed. We'll see what Amanda can do here, the junior. Drops down a bunt down the first base line. A sharp bunt, which was actually a great play by her. Was she tagged out? The first baseman, Sadie Childers, did manage to put the tag on Amanda, but the sacrifice bunt, it was sharply hit. She made sure it's going to stay fair, and that advanced the runners to get runners and 2 runners in scoring position now with the top of the lineup up. That was a very well done sacrifice bunt. If you try to get too cute, it's going to roll foul. Reagan Dixon at the plate. First pitch swinging, pops it to center field. Addie Hart underneath it makes the catch. So nothing doing here in the 4th inning for the Vikings. No runs on no hits. There was 1 error, 2 runners left on base. At the end of 4 innings, Pacelli 3, Columbus High nothing. You're watching Vikings softball on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Visions Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Visions Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Visions Morning Show, and download the Sports Visions radio app right now in your app store today.
Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live wants to say thank you to Zaxby's for their continued partnership with us for over the last couple years since we started this. Your partnership has meant the world for us to give you premier coverage for all the local sporting events around the Chattahoochee Valley area. And specifically, I want to thank Judson Humphreys, my good friend, and the Phoenix City location, being with us from the very beginning, man.
Absolutely. Well, we just appreciate what y'all do in the community for these student athletes, and we just want to be a part of it.
Whether it's tailgating, parties, or you just want a quick bite to eat, come to the Phoenix City Zaxby's location and tell them Georgia Alabama Sports Live and Thrift sent you. Thank you again to Judson Humphreys and Zaxby's for our continued partnership on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
All right, back at Gallman Field, top of the 5th. First pitch from Bella McBride to Sadie Childers, up high, ball 1. Childers grounded out to short to lead off the 3rd inning. McBride's pretty much been in control of this one. Next pitch, 1 hop comebacker over to first, just like that. Little mad duck. Almost think Greg Maddox on that one. Nice 1 hopper. She had it easy over to first. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3 comebackers so far today. 1 a liner, and the other 2 were choppers. That brings up the new designated player Coming in for Layla Hendricks, this is Lauren Wiggins. Wiggins coming into the game hitting .357 with 3 runs batted in. The pitch, strike. One count now on Lauren Wiggins. The delivery. Wiggins right back to the pitcher, and that's another one. A little spinning liner. Easy out there for out number 2. An efficient inning here, only a couple of pitches. You know, it's a lot easier if you pitch the contact and get outs in 2 or 3 pitches. You get done a lot quicker than if you're trying to strike everybody out. I've always been a fan of that. Addie Hart coming to the plate. Hart 0 for 2. She lined to the pitcher and popped to short. First pitch up high, ball 1. Bella McBride looking good out there so far. She's given up 3 hits on the day, struck out a couple. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 1-1 count. 1-1 count now on Addie Hart, the freshman, the center fielder. McBride gets the sign. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Chopped over third. It's a base hit. Looks like it could be 2. Amanda Acevedo getting it back in, but no doing there. That's a stand-up double for Addie Hart. Hart with a chopper over third base. Wasn't anything anybody could do about that one. So a 2-out double, and the Blue Devils are still in business here in the 5th. That brings up Lexi Winchester, the second baseman. Winchester grounded to first unassisted and then singled to center in the 3rd. That's the 4th hit of the day for the Blue Devils. Check that, the 5th hit of the day for the Blue Devils. 3rd time they've had a runner in scoring position. McBride trying to get out of this little mini 2-run jam. Pitch to Winchester. Swing and a miss, strike. Count out 1-1 on Lexi Winchester, the sophomore second baseman. He's 2 out. It is 2 outs here in the inning. Here's your 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Inside, jammed her a little bit. So 1-2 count now on Lexi Winchester. McBride gets the sign. Here's the 1-2. Right back to the pitcher again, flipping it over to first. Greg Maddox, eat your heart out. In the inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. So at the end of 4 1/2 innings, Pacelli 3, Columbus High 0. You're watching Vikings softball on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
Hey, it's a great day to be a Viking. St. Anne Pacelli Catholic School, one of 353 schools in America to earn National Blue Ribbon School status from the U.S. Department of Education. That was back in 2023. National Blue Ribbon schools articulate a vision of academic excellence and hold everyone to high standards. This huge achievement would not be possible without our students, faculty, staff, parents, and Pacelli community working together. And things are working pretty good for the Vikings here at Gallman Field as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning. The Vikings holding a 3-0 lead on Columbus High as they get ready to go into this bottom of the 5th, and it will be the 2-3-4 hitters. Tough part of the lineup for the Vikings. Tally Ellis, J.C. Watkins, and Leah Jimenez due up here in the 5th. The Vikings, of course, would really like to add to that 3-0 lead. Here's their chance. Tally Ellis coming to the plate. Ellis in her 2 at-bats got out on the first inning on an error by the third baseman, but I'm going to tell you, it was a sharp grounder. Maybe it was a hit, I don't know. And then she grounded out to third. She would later score, by the way, in the first. First pitch, Ellis. Ellis through the hole at short for a single. Another nice base hit for Tally Ellis on one pitch, and the Vikings are in business here in the fifth inning. That'll bring up J.C. Watkins, the third baseman. Watkins struck out in the first, and then in the third, she walked and scored on a Leah Jimenez double, the third run of the ball game. We'll see what the Vikes do if they drop down a bunt or they go for it. Watkins, another one of the players who draws a cross in the dirt before stepping into the batter's box. And so here we go. Bella Wheaton's pitch, up high, ball one. Ellis faked going. Ellis leading the team with 15 stolen bases on the season. They're very well aware of that. They know she can scoot. It gives them something else to think about, maybe distract. The 1-0 to Watkins. Swinging. Got a piece of it. Kind of cued it off the end of the bat. But it's strike one. 1-1 count now. Good base runner, Tally Ellis, leading off of first. Here's the 1-1. And, I thought Ellis was going. She pulls up. You can see from the shadows that the sun is starting to set now. Shadows lengthening here at Gallman Field. This is a field without lights. The pitch. Ellis go. Nope. She stopped, hesitated, went back to throw down to second, rolls into center field. Ellis retreats back. She faked it, thought about it, maybe not. Grace Scott ended up chucking it down to second, rolled it to center, but by that point, Ellis had committed to going back to first. Lots of gamesmanship going on out here. 2-2 count now on J.C. Watkins. Nobody out, runner on first. Pitch, driven to center field, and it falls in for the base hit. Falls in front of the center field. There was no Texas leaguer, though. That was a nice line drive. So Watkins single to center. So they have runners on first and second now with Aaliyah Jimenez coming to the plate for the Vikings. Jimenez doubled. An RBI double in the first, an RBI double in the third. You sense some sort of thing going on here? We'll see what you can do here. First pitch, Jimenez. Driven to right field, high. It's catchable, but it falls in, untouched. And Tally Ellis will manage to score all the way from second base. The ball was untouched. Right fielder misjudged it. I think she lost it to Sun. The sun is behind left field, but the way the pop-up was hit, the way she came at it from around. She kind of went around it, kind of circled the wagons on it, and I do suspect she lost it in the sun. We're going to have to call that one a single because it was untouched. A run scores, another RBI for Jimenez. It is 4-0 Pacelli. Runners now on first and second for Bella McBride.
Hey, let's go, Belle.
McBride singled in the center, brought in a run, and then singled to left. That didn't bring in a run. It was a play at the plate, but McBride has come up with 2 big hits already as well. And, of course, by the way, Kaylee Simmons is in running for Jimenez. She scored 1 run and got thrown at the plate at the other. All right, Bella McBride at the plate. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. 1 run already in. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Watkins has 5 stolen bases on the season, so she is a threat to run. Simmons has 1. The 1-0 pitch, strike 1. She's waiting to make sure it's good. Next pitch in the dirt. Nice play back there by Grace Scott to chase it down. Looks like the JV football game may be over. Looks like it just finished. Didn't hear a score. Pitch up high, chopped to short. The throw over to third. The throw over to third got away. Shortstop Peyton Brown grabbed it, and saw there might be a play at third and tried to flip it to Aubrey McBride, but the throw went wide and went wild. I don't think she would have been safe. It was a fielder's choice. I don't think she would have got the runner at third. She tried to go for the force out, but I think that Watkins already had the throw beat. We'll see what the official scorer calls it. They're calling it as hit to short because there was no play at first. So on the hit, bases now loaded with nobody out, 1 run in, Madison Green coming to the plate. And, of course, Marissa Raza comes in as a courtesy runner. Columbus High with the big meeting on the mound to try to figure out exactly what they're going to do here. Nobody out, 1 run in, bases juiced. The Vikings with the chance to try to blow this thing open.
Hey, let's go back to get you one.
Green is flown out to center and walked in this one. First pitch to Green, inside, ball 1. Emily Ballow-Eaton trying to keep her team in the game. The Vikings trying to see what they can do about ripping this thing wide open. The 1-0. Grounded to third. The throw home. Beats her by a half a step. Good play. Good play by Aubrey McBride. Scooping up the quick throw home. Getting the runner for the first out of the inning. But the bases are still loaded here. That brings up Lucy Champion. Champion's grounded to short and struck out in her 2 at-bats.
Hey, let's go, Liz.
We'll see what happens here because there's all kinds of possibilities. 1 out here, bases loaded. First pitch swinging, Champion fouls it into the screen. Strike 1. She kind of chased it a little bit. It was a good swing, though. Not a bad idea. So count 0-1 on Lucy Champion. The delivery. Champion swinging. Chops a little roller to third. No place to go with that. It's an infield hit. Kaylee Simmons comes in to score, kind of trips over home plate. She's laughing about it. I don't think she got hurt, so that's good. She was chuckling. But that's a base hit. Infield hit for Champion and an RBI. So now it is 5-0 Vikings. And Kendall Purnell coming to the plate. Purnell popped out to the pitcher and got out on an error. Yeah. Next pitch, first pitch swinging, single to center field. At least 1 run coming on in. Throw to the plate. Has the runner beep at the plate. The throw gets away from the catcher. Everybody else moves up. So on the single to center field by Kendall Purnell, Mariska Raza scores easily. Madison Green doesn't stop, chugs on home. The ball bounces up and gets away from the catcher. She's safe at home, and everybody else moves up on the error. And so the Vikings have plated 3 runs in this inning, 4 runs in this inning. They've expanded the lead to 7-0, and there's only 1 out. Runners on second and third. And Amanda Acevedo coming up to the plate. We'll see if an error is charged on that one.
Hey, let's go, Andy.
There'll be no error charged on the play. So here we go. 7-0 Vikings. And there is going to be a pitching change for Columbus High. Columbus High swapping out pitchers here. They kind of have to. The Vikings have an opportunity here. They're up 7-0, and what amounts to the winning run will be at the plate in the person of Amanda Acevedo. That makes it a little bit more interesting, does it not? Hey, did you know the 84 students in Pacelli's class of 2025 were accepted to 63 colleges across America? They'll be attending 33 colleges and schools in 11 states. Together, they earned over $3.5 million in college scholarships. 15 members of the class of 2025 will continue their athletic and academic careers at the next level. We are so proud of these Vikings and can't wait to see what they accomplish in their next steps. And, hey, we'll see what the class of 2026 will bring. And, of course, Columbus High is making a pitching swap. They bring in Addie Hart coming in from center field. This will be her 13th appearance in the circle. Hart coming into the game 2-4 with a 7.69 earned run average. 43 and 2/3 innings pitched, 98 hits. She's given up 83 runs, only 48 of them earned. Struck out 39, walked 17 with 9 wild pitches. Hart coming in with the task of trying to shut down the Vikings before they turn this into a game ender. Vikings with 4 runs in this inning to cut it to 7-0. It's a 10-run rule after 5. And if they can keep the parade going, they can close this thing out. Making it interesting, to say the least. And again, remember, we'll be giving out the Alex Squinty All-State Good Hands Player of the Game at the end of this ball game. We'll see who comes up with it this time. I got a couple of candidates here. So here we go. Amanda Acevedo, the junior, coming up to the plate. She's lined to third and then dropped down a perfect sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning. First pitch to Acevedo, she bunts, fouls it off into the screen, strike 1. Hart bringing it pretty good there. Slinging it with a little bit of speed. Runners on second and third here, 1 out. Here's the 0-1 delivery from Hart. Bunted again, pops it foul over the screen. Count now 0-2.
Watch it change, Amanda.
Hart gets a sign. Here is her 0-2 delivery. Lined into right field for a base hit. That's going to mean at least 1 run. It's going to mean 2. Amanda Acevedo singling to right field, and that brings in Lucy Champion and Kendall Purnell. And now it is a 9-0 Pacelli lead. The Vikings with an opportunity to maybe close things out. Oh, nope. You know what? It's an 8-run rule, isn't it? 8 runs after 5? It is indeed an 8-run rule after 5 innings. So that, folks, was the game-winning hit. Amanda Acevedo coming up with the big hit, bringing home a pair of runs, and the Pacelli Vikings post a 9-0 win over the Columbus High Blue Devils. What a game, to say the least. There are 2 players that really, really stood out. First of all, pitcher Bella McBride went the distance in this one, threw a 5-hit shutout, struck out 2, did a great job keeping Columbus High at bay. But you got to go with Leah Jimenez, the catcher. Jimenez, 3 for 3 with a pair of doubles, driving in 3 runs, and keying and getting this 5th inning, this big 5th inning that saw 6 runs come to the plate. And the Vikings post the victory. So our Alex Squinty Good Hands Player of the Game will be catcher Leah Jimenez. What a ball game for Jimenez, and what a ball game for the Pacelli Vikings. The Vikings taking care of business, posting a big victory today, putting together a 9-0 win over Columbus High, evening their record now at 9-9 on the season. Let me double check and make sure. Let's see here. I like double checking it. Yes, indeed. The Vikings now move to 9-9 on the season with this 9-0 victory over the Columbus High Blue Devils. Pacelli will move on tomorrow, or will move on Thursday. They play on the Strong Rock Christian Patriots. That'll be Thursday here at Gallman Field in a district contest, a big game for the Vikings. So, a nice afternoon for Pacelli's Vikings here at Gallman Field, posting a 9-0 win over Columbus High. I'm Dave Platt, along with producer Chris Gates. Thanks for joining us. You've been watching Viking Softball on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.